Hello, I'm Ms. Lumley of Finextra, and we're here at the SAP Financial Services Forum in London. And today I'm speaking to David Gledhill of DBS Bank. And of course, we're going to talk about digital banking and technology-driven change. So a number of banks, global banks, have launched innovation labs and innovation funds recently to sort of try to get a little bit more sort of agile, innovative technologies into the bank. What do you think of this trend?
We are fully engaged in that whole thing. Our view is that to really transform digitally, we have to transform the DNA of every employee in the company just to think in a completely different way. Part of what we're doing is running innovation labs inside the company, but we're also reaching out to fintech startups. We're the key sponsor of a fintech startup in Singapore, with about 25 startups that are just kicking off now and developing a whole range of different ideas. In Hong Kong, we brought that concept into our office buildings and have sponsored space for fintech startups, again working with a company called Nest to create that facility. We're also reaching out to research and university. We have a joint lab together with one of the biggest research institutions in Singapore. And so this idea of outreach to figure out what's going on in the world, bring those smart ideas into the company and use that to change the way people are thinking about banking inside our organization is really started to gather some huge momentum in DBS already.
Is that what the bank gets out of that sort of internal cultural change from being involved in these types of projects?
So there's a number of things. First of all, you hope there's some really great ideas that we can leverage from there. We don't have all of the smart ideas as we start to evolve the thinking of what banking is. But yes, also a huge cultural change. We're doing that along with other things like our leadership program. In the past has been all about leadership skills, communication skills. So the last year we scrapped all of that, and our leadership programs is all about hackathons. So the idea is to take every one of the senior leaders in our organization through a 1 or 2 week hackathon. Together we bring in kids that are startup community kind of people and mix traditional senior bankers with a bunch of 20-year-old coders and see what happens. And it's fascinating to watch. Day 1 or 2, there are 2 different camps as the bankers and the coders, neither really sure what to think about each other. By the end of the week, there's such passion and intensity about what they're creating that we really think we've got a very magical spark of how to change people's thinking in the organization.
Excellent. I'm glad you mentioned hackathons, because another sort of topic that comes up a lot with digital banking is opening up APIs, especially banks opening up their APIs so that new entrants can build products on top of the existing banking infrastructure. Why do you think the banking industry has found it so difficult to do this?
It's tricky. I think in the past, because bankers have been so transactional in their thinking and not customer journey or lifestyle immersion, that the thinking just hasn't been there in the same way as it is with what I would say Internet 2.0 companies. And the second thing, it's also tough from a sort of security and risk-based approach. How much do you open up? We've got very sensitive customer information. What do you share? What can you share? What gets creepy if you share too much? So I think there's been a lot of resistance internally in banks to just completely open up until we really figure out what those risks and rewards are. DBS, we've sort of really pushed ahead. We've got about 150 different APIs now that we're ready to open up to third parties, and we're building a sort of new digital front end which will connect together using APIs to about 20 different ecosystem partners. So we're pushing the boundaries, but you have to tread a little bit cautiously because of those security, data, customer perception kind of questions.